Good to have you back. So today we're going to talk about something really important, especially here in Hawaii. Sunscreen. We'll identify what chemicals to look out for, explain what harm they can do, how they get to places they shouldn't be, and we'll wrap all of this up with everything that you can do to protect not only the ocean, but also your skin, including sunscreens that you can use with the least amount of guilt. All right, let's get into the thick of this chemical mess. Now, NOAA has a list of chemicals in sunscreens that have been found to harm not only corals, but other kinds of marine life as well, like green algae, mussels, sea urchins, fish, and dolphins. And the list looks something like this. And it has some chemical kids I usually see on sunscreen bottles under its active ingredients, but there are also lots here that I don't see listed on a regular basis. So based on looking at ingredients that you'll actually find on sunscreen bottles, the list from the Environmental Working Group is much more helpful. Now, their list includes 6 chemical kits: oxybenzone, octinoxate, homosalate, octosalate, octocrylene, and avobenzene. Whew, it's a mouthful. All right, so that being said and names mentioned, but we need to know what these chemicals do that makes them harmful and dangerous for marine life and potentially for us. And I think the first thing that we need to know here is that these sunscreen chemicals are not only found in the water, but also in our bloodstream. A study done by the FDA in 2020 found that all 6 of the chemicals listed on the Environmental Working Group's list were found in the human bloodstream after only 1 use. Now, a lot more study is needed to find out how this might affect human health, but what we do know is that chemicals like oxybenzone and octinoxate can increase coral bleaching susceptibility, can damage coral DNA, which interferes with reproduction. It can cause deformities and abnormal skeleton growth, can also disrupt corals' hormonal processes for growth and reproduction. Now, the scary thing is they can cause this kind of damage with very small amounts of the chemical, like 1 drop of water, or oxybenzone, in 6.5 Olympic swimming pools is enough to cause damage. Yikes. All right, so how does this stuff get into the ocean? Well, mostly it enters our waterways by rinsing off our skin while we're swimming, or washing into the water from the beach. Okay, well, how'd it get on the beach, you ask? From spray-on sunscreen. The spray cloud doesn't always all land on our skin. The residue settles on the sand and is then washed into our waterways by waves or rain. These chemicals can also get to the ocean through our sewers, either by washing sunscreen off in the shower or being excreted through urine. Wait, we can pee it out? Yep. Since it absorbs into your skin and therefore your bloodstream, the only way your body can get rid of it is to send it out of the body. All right, well, what can we do about this? Well, thankfully, governments are starting to enact legislation that bans some of these chemicals from being put in sunscreens. Hawaii has banned both oxybenzone and octinoxate. Yay! But there are still 4 others that we know of that are harmful that haven't been banned yet. So while we're working on that part, there's lots you can do in the meantime to protect our ocean environments and yourself. Number 1, wear sun protective clothing and use sunscreen only on the leftover exposed skin instead of bathing your entire body in sunscreen. This will keep chemical amounts in the ocean, washed off in the shower, or absorbed into your body at a minimum. Now, I like the sun too, and a little color, who doesn't? But I limit my full sun exposure time to 15 to 20 minutes, and then I put on my sun shirt so I don't get too much sun. I always wear my hat, otherwise I can't see, my eyes are super sensitive. Number 2, purchase only mineral-based sunscreen, those using active ingredients like zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. Stay away from nano versions of these minerals. And here's a little tip if you're in a pinch. Go for the kid sunscreen. I found most of them use only the good minerals, not the bad chemicals. Now, a quick note on sunscreens labeled reef safe. They may not be. Maybe they don't have the 2 most studied chemicals in them, but that doesn't mean that what's left is safe. For example, this sunscreen says it's reef safe because it doesn't have oxybenzone or octinoxate or reef friendly in it. But the ingredients it does have is the rest of the Environmental Working Group's list of no-no chemicals. It's also important to keep in mind that the government has not defined reef safe, so it's not strictly regulated. This means that sunscreen makers are not required to test or demonstrate that their products won't harm marine life. Also, even a relatively harmless chemical in large amounts can become toxic, and there's lots of us in the water on a daily basis all around the world. Number 3, apply mineral-based sunscreen at least 30 minutes before entering the ocean. This allows it to soak into your skin and protect you instead of washing off as soon as you get into the water. And number 4, please, no offense, but dear Lord, stop with the spray-on sunscreen. The only place that really needs sunscreen is your skin, not the beach, the air, or the sunbathers down the beach. All right, everyone, that's all for today. Now, normally I would never suggest this because it creates so much waste, but there isn't really a good way that I can think of to use all the old sunscreen up without causing more damage. So, get rid of the spray-ons and the sunscreens loaded with toxic chemicals, get a good mineral-based sunscreen, some protective clothing, and continue to enjoy the beach life. Remember, the road to big changes is paved with small ones, and small changes collectively make meaningful change. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Hit that subscribe button before you leave, share what you've learned here forward, and we'll see you next time.